Well, good morning. Welcome to day 65. I'll make this real brief. Stayed right above Burke's garden. Burke's garden is behind me here. I could even hear some neighborhood dogs barking sometimes, so I'm not that far away from the hostel. I only made it a few miles in yesterday, and I wasn't really feeling it, and I called it quits early, and I wanted to just relax. So I'm still, to be honest, kind of recovering. I think I was sick or whatnot. I'm not really feeling that great, but I'm trying to make progress. So today I'm still trying to do, I would like to get back into doing like 13 to 15 miles a day, if I can, but since I'm recovering, I don't know if that's possible. And I'm getting a late start again, so it's not that great. But I'll see where I can get. But my primary goal this morning is to actually get to water source. This whole stretch, including south of here, and like 5 miles north of here, is just dry. There's just no water sources, unfortunately, or the water sources are seasonal and have dried up. There hasn't been rain recently. Knock on wood. There's rain's coming back starting tomorrow. It looks like, so I'm gonna have to enjoy the last of these dry days. But yeah, I need to get to water. So it's about 5 miles north of here before I hit any water. I have 1 liter, which really isn't a lot. It's not enough. I need to take advantage of the morning before it heats up too much, basically, and ration that water. So that's my primary concern this morning, and then I'll figure out the logistics of where I'm going to camp after that. I'm not super sure, but I'll figure it out. I got some time, some miles. But yeah, this is a nice spot. Burke's Garden is an interesting formation. It's this little valley. If you look at it on a map, you can see it looks like a crater from an asteroid hit or something. Apparently, it's like some sort of geologic thing where there's like this limestone, and the limestone essentially just sunk, so it created this big valley. Lots of farming out here. The Amish have a general store out there that we passed by. My shuttle passed by on the way. Um, Very interesting community. And the guy I hiked with a bit and bunked with one night, wrong way, lives somewhere in this community. I left a comment on his video, but I'm not sure if he's monitoring YouTube anymore. But anyway, hello, wrong way. I don't think you're watching, but he's living his own life somewhere around here. So enjoy your life. He's a glass blower in Burke's Garden, and Burke's Garden actually featured him on their YouTube channel, which is kind of cool. Anyway, you can look that up. Um, but yeah, today let's just get going. Let's get us started. Here's my typical. I got my poles staked, ready to go. I got my pack ready to go, and I got my water. This is the only water I got this morning for 5 miles. With the water filter that I'm taking much care of, so I don't want to take a chance. I'm gonna put my pack on first, and then I'm gonna put my water bottle in there, make sure it's secure in there, so less of a chance of breaking it. That's how I did it last time. Anyway, this is pretty nice. Oh, I don't think I had any visitations from bears or anything, but there are bears around here. The lady at the hostel said yesterday they had a bear come down from the woods here and go lurk around in their field where the cows were. Apparently they've had incidents too where the bears come and they swipe at the chickens and eat the chicken or get in the honey or whatnot. One time they had to scare a bear away with what was she said? She said I brought up my Glock. They didn't fire at the bear, but they fired to make a noise. Very, uh, yeah. Anyway, typical Americans firing their guns. She's from Florida too. I don't. I met a lot of people from Florida on the trail. I don't know why. Hiking and also at hostels and whatnot. I think Florida's just a very populous place, but I do get the image that Florida people kind of like their guns. I don't know. Maybe it's stereotypical. Anyway, I guess you kind of need it out here. It's a little more wild, but yeah. But yeah, I found this unofficial campsite the other night, and I was really happy, and I cleared out. There was this spot here that I just sort of like tied up a bit, and no, it was a great night. Rested as much as I could. Apparently, didn't get that great of sleep. So I think I'm still just recovering. So let's see what we can do today. Let's go. Let's go. Stop yapping. Stop procrastinating, and let's go. Well, I just ran into a hiker who's coming southbound from Waynesboro. I don't know if he's from Waynesboro or he started in Waynesboro. I think that's Virginia, right? There's also like a Waynesville in Pennsylvania. Lots of Waynes and Marions. And anyway, he was telling me, oh, his name is Second Chance. He was telling me for about the next 70 miles or so, the water is kind of scarce. So, got to pay attention to recent far out comments. He said he was making plans based on like week old comments, and he got to the water source and it was all dried up there. So, anyway, 70 miles is a long way. Apparently, there is another water cache. There's one behind me. Unfortunately, it's empty, but I wasn't gonna fill up there anyway. I have about a half liter now that I've been drinking through, but I'm really counting on that. He did say, yeah, the springs coming up, which are marked as seasonal and far out, rightly so, are dry. But he said that the stream or the campground is flowing, so that should be good. I'm kind of pinning my hopes on that. Otherwise, it can't really go farther. That's the whole reason it was so dramatic that I had to just get off the trail completely when my water filter broke, because like you can't really do anything. It's not like I don't know. It's not like I lost my sleeping bag, or these would be like more minor things that would be just annoyances. But if you don't have water, you can't can't do anything. Even more so than food. You know, food you need, but if you don't have water, you're gonna suffer pretty instantly, especially in this heat, humidity. Yeah, he also Second Chance had also mentioned the humidity. But yeah, I'm feeling that today. I'm feeling a little better than this morning, which is good. I think I just had to get going. It takes me a couple miles to wake up. Anyway, but yeah, so it's gonna be interesting next week or so, water-wise. May just end up hauling more water, filling up my Canuck bag and putting that in the side pocket. I mean, that's apparently what they got to do on the PCT. I was talking to a Japanese hiker in my really broken Japanese and his broken English. We were somehow communicating. But he said regularly he had to carry, 5 liters of water. And the water situation is even more dire on the PCT. Lots of desert, gross water. So I think I talked about that before. I won't harp on it too much. But the AT usually has water, except for these stretches. And there have been a few dry stretches. I want to say this is at least the second or third one where there's been a significant chunk of miles. I think somewhere way far back, maybe Georgia or so, I forget where, there's a stretch that was like 5 or 6 miles. But it's workable if you plan for it, You just drink a bunch of water, carry extra than you're used to. And yeah, when it was colder, it was nice. I only needed to carry 1 liter. That was super nice. But now it's summer, and I need to carry at least 2 liters, probably more at this point for the next week or so. I fill up my Canuck part way at least. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But I'm thankful I'm at least feeling a little bit more normal. I was feeling almost like lightheaded this morning. I think it's just recovering from. I was definitely sick. I just don't know. It's some bug or something. Anyway, I'll stop yapping. Gotta keep going. Now I'm going downhill a lot for the next few miles, for better or worse. But actually, that means I should switch to my both my trekking poles. So I should close up the camera here, put it away, and save my knees a bit. Anyway, onward. Well, that hiker second chance was right. There's two streams behind me, just past, completely dry. One of them on far out has updated comments, people saying it's dry. And then one of them, the last comment said, it was from a while ago, actually from more than a week ago, but it was saying something like, oh, babbling brook, indicating, oh yeah, obviously there's water, but there's nothing. So I gotta go, not too bad, I gotta go a half mile more to the shelter here. But usually it's a little bit of a trek to the water from the shelter, so we'll see how bad it is. But it's my only option now at this point. It's almost 1 p.m. It's kind of ridiculous. I haven't seen water. Oh, there was a little exception. There was a trickle underneath these interesting rocks that I got a video of. But you could hear the water underneath the rocks, and then if you look real close, you could see a stagnant pool. But nothing other than that. So anyway, I gotta load up here, and then figure out where the next water is after that. That's pretty important. Figure out where I can potentially camp for the night, and whether I need to camel up or bring some extra water. We'll see. Well, it feels a little bit okay, but it feels a little bit embarrassing. It's like there's not really big climbs. There's just like little climbs. That's sort of the Virginia climb, just a little bit. But even so, like I'm still kind of recovering. Still kind of feel sick. So, and it's very humid and kind of hot. It could be worse though, but mostly just very humid down in the valleys, especially where there's no wind or anything, and just sweat like crazy, sweating out all that. But now I got another water. I bulked up. Not bulked. I cameled up at the last water source, so I can replenish that water. Got a little bit of a headache. A little bit of indication that I need to drink some more with some more electrolytes. Yeah, I've been drinking a lot here. But yeah, I got enough to the next spot. I gotta make a decision now when I get to the next spot here. If I'm good enough to keep going, I'll make it to an intersection that, and then I have an option to go into a town. Although it hasn't really been that long since the last town, obviously. But I'm not sure it's worth the effort to call up a shuttle. Although it should be way easier because it's very close. But yeah, it's not really. I don't think it's really safe to do like a road walk into town, and it would be very long too. So, but yeah, I think one of the towns is Bland, Virginia. It reminds me of where my friend James lives, born in Oregon. I think there's also a Bland in Scotland. I could be wrong. Some sister cities there, and then there's Bastion the other direction up north, I believe. But that looks cool. It looks like there is, if I'm not mistaken, I think that is an intersection where they have a little deli there, a little supermarket, sort of begrudgingly caters to hikers because it's right on the Appalachian Trail. Thing is, they're not open today because it's Sunday. So it might actually just be better to camp out here by the water source or whatnot if I can find a spot. And then that would be a nice thing for tomorrow. I'll go in there, get lunch, and then pack out dinner. So I'm kind of thinking about my options. But anyway, I'm happy in any case that I'm making some slow progress. But I'm just not feeling. I'm not feeling it. I was doing really well there before though. I was getting into my mileage range consistently and feeling pretty good, and actually not wanting to go to town or not wanting to go to hostel. Just wanted to keep going. I was in a really good groove there. But that might have just been too much. That might have just exhausted me. But I wasn't like going crazy. But I mean, except for like 18-mile day, they were all like more reasonable. They're reasonable in my 13 to 15-mile range. Anyway, oh, I also want to mention a lot of rambling here. I encountered Burke's Garden Hostel. I saw GB again. GB's a hiker that I hadn't seen for 200, 300 miles since the Smokies. And I saw him in this. I remember I saw him in the Smokies, and he was airing out his stuff. So he got a bunch of his gear wet, and he got his AWOL guide wet. And we were talking about, pacing and that sort of thing, and what gear we need, and if you even need AWOL guide and that stuff. But yeah, I remember him. We had a conversation just briefly, and then I left, and I just thought, well, he's probably going slow, and I'll never see him again. But no, he's he's still in it, and he caught up to me. So that happens. I'll probably see him again, I'm sure. Anyway, that sort of tends to happen. And then I think there's people that you don't expect that drop out. You don't really hear about them because, well, you're gonna have to hear it secondhand, right? But yeah, like Rattlesnake was hiking with two guys, and they both dropped out, I guess. I kind of don't blame them in a way. I'm going to do more fun things. It is kind of more fun to spend your summer not through hiking in a way. Like through hiking becomes a kind of a job, But yeah, so like lots of unexpected things, people you expect. We're doing like lots of 20-mile days who end up dropping out. Maybe because of that, I don't know. And then people who going slow, going their own pace, you don't expect to see them again. And then they come up. But anyway, that's kind of fun. Sometimes in a way it makes you question like, oh, did I take off too many 0 days, or am I not going fast enough? But good for them, they're going fast. They're sticking with it. Most people, I think, drop out. I think half the people drop out around the Smokies or something. There's no, I don't know. I gotta look up the statistics of it, but definitely by Damascus. I think more than half people have dropped out by then. So if you can make it past there, you're doing pretty good. And then it gets even more as you go up north. Like statistics get even more abysmal, as you can imagine. Anyway, just some thoughts there. I think go onward. Let's get to this next stream, fill up, take a little break, and then see how I'm feeling. And we'll see what my options are. Good to have options.